Hello people. So today I'm doing my very first Beavis and Butthead review video. If you guys have seen my collection video that I made about a year ago, you guys may remember that I talked about this specific piece, but surprisingly there's not many videos out there of people actually like reviewing this like by itself. I've seen people talk about this release through collection videos and briefly mentioning it in collection videos and such, but in terms of a full-length review, maybe like a bit of an opinion on the release and the history about it and stuff, um, there is nobody. So I figured I would be the first person to do that. And since I recently just rewatched this release the other night, and I figured I would talk about it. So the history of Beavis and Butthead was originally released in the United Kingdom and was released throughout 3 VHS tapes. But for some reason, it was called The History of Beavis, not Beavis and Butthead, which I find a bit strange. But then part 4, because this was split up into 4 parts, was only sold in Australia. So the tapes were released between 1999 through, I believe, 2001. And then it was never released on DVD until 2002 when Paramount brought it over to the United States and released the exact same content of episodes, but retitled it The History of Beavis and Butthead. They condensed it to a 2-disc collection, or I guess if you had the VHS version of it, it was condensed to a 2-tape collection, to where it had the first 2 parts on 1 disc or tape, and then parts 3 and 4 on the 2nd disc or tape. But here's the DVD version, which is the one that most people usually go for, purely because it's in the highest quality. It's not in VHS form, and it's definitely the more common one compared to the DVD or the VHS, because in 2002, I believe it was September 24th of 2002, if I'm not mistaken, is when Paramount put this out. It was released on VHS, coincide with the DVD. But if you guys don't know the story behind this, basically this DVD set was recalled, or just the set in general, I should say, not just the DVD set, but the set was recalled because Mike Judge found out that Paramount collaborated with MTV, and he had no involvement with this release, disapproved on a good amount of the episodes, specifically ones from the first 2 seasons, and he threatened to sue Paramount if they didn't take these off the store shelves. And I actually found out a bit of an interesting story. There's a Beavis and Butthead collector out there on YouTube. I completely forgot his name, and I apologize for that. I'll try to provide his channel in the description. But he said that he remembers when they announced that this was coming out back in 2002, and he went to, I believe, Best Buy, tried to pick it up. They said that they were no longer selling them. And he said it wasn't until a year later in 2003 where these started popping up online, and he said he paid about $50 for a brand new copy. So yeah, I believe the original price for this thing was, I think it was $30. I'm not too sure. I never bought mine brand new. I have seen sealed copies online, and some of them do have price stickers, but I could be wrong on that. But yeah, that's the little story about it. This DVD was recalled, technically canceled, but some stores, some retailers still ended up putting this out anyway, and I'm assuming they sold up until their batch of copies were gone, realizing that Paramount was no longer manufacturing these. So these probably weren't even on store shelves for maybe not even like a month, if I had to guess. I wouldn't say a day or 2 tops, honestly, just because obviously there are copies of this still out there. I wouldn't say it's like the rarest Beavis and Butthead piece, but in terms of physical media, it's definitely probably I'd say the 3rd rarest. The first one I would say is that season 1 and Do the Universe double pack, which was supposed to come out, but it was canceled, and so far only 2 people have officially documented copies. And there's also a press screener for volume 4 or season 8. I've never seen a single person own that. I've only found a picture of it online. I didn't even know it existed until I found out on Internet Archive. But yeah, this would probably be the 3rd rarest piece for sure in terms of the DVDs. So yeah, that's the story behind it. And then here's my quick story before I jump into this release. I originally got this as a birthday present from my dad, I believe about 2 years ago. And I made it, I made a whole video talking about it in my collection video, but not like a whole video on this on itself, but I showed this off in my collection video and I stated that I had a really bad feeling that it might have been a counterfeit uh, reproduction one that somebody made, like a bootleg basically. Um, the cover art was very pixelated, did not have these like little ridges around the corners where they were like a bit curved. And for some reason, Butthead's disc in particular was like a darker green color, and then the back had like that yellowish orange tint to it, which is usually what you see on like DVD-R discs, other than like the purple hue and stuff. But um, my dad was pretty upset when he found that out. It might have been a fake. I'm not sure. Obviously, there's different manufacturing companies, but I know for a fact this is 100% an authentic copy. I bought a whole new one. I bought it from another collector by the name of, I believe, Luca M. I found him on Instagram and I found his eBay page. He was selling this for about $100, and I went ahead and jumped the gun and bought it. Considering that this piece now goes for around the same price, usually like between 95 to even 200, sometimes even $300. My dad unfortunately paid a good amount for it because I wanted the cleanest copy, and yet he might have bought a fake. But I got rid of that copy since I gave it to one of my buddy's mom's boyfriend. That sounds really weird how I worded that. My best friend Isaac, you guys heard about him. I gave that to his mom's boyfriend because he's a big Beavis and Butthead fan, and I sold that to him. So at least it went to good hands. But anyway, I've been rambling for 7 minutes. I'm sure you guys actually want to see more about this release. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at it since you've been staring at this cover for a while. So there's the top. It says MTV's DVD video collection. The history of Beavis and Butthead, a 2-disc collection. The history of MTV's Beavis and Butthead, I guess. And then you have some very cool like statues of the boys. And as you can see, they have their Skull and Death Rock shirts, which ironically enough, this is the exact same style cover as disc 3 of the Mike Judge Collection Volume 1, except theirs says AC/DC and Metallica, so I guess that's pretty interesting that they didn't have the licensing for this, but I guess it makes sense considering that Mike Judge supposedly had no involvement for it. But yeah, great cover, especially for the theme here. There's the spine. It's in like one of those like thick DVD cases. Really gives it more of that special edition look, but there it is. There's the MTV Music Television logo. There's Beavis, the history of MTV's Beavis and Butthead. Looks like there's a bit of a, what is that? Okay, I got it off. And there is Butthead there. There's the item number, 87896. This is the Paramount 90th anniversary release. There's the back. Exclusive DVD features, retrospective montages, which if you pop this in, this disc 2 specifically that has the special features, it has like the Cornholio montage, a slap montage, etc. I think there's like a pickup line montage. There's some Beavis and Butthead promos, a Thanksgiving Day Parade special, and a VMA appearance. And then it says the masterpieces from the Virtuous of Stupidity are finally on display. And the coolest thing about my copy, and this is how you know this is a better way of giving it away, it has the sticker on it, which were on the sealed shrink wrapped, the sealed shrink wrap, and it says 32 of your favorite episodes, nearly 3 hours of hilarity. I don't know if Luca can probably get back to me. I'm sure he'll probably see this video, but did you end up buying this sealed, or like was this sticker already on there? And I mean, the sticker is inside on the sleeve, so I'm assuming that might have been like peeled off and plopped onto the sleeve, which I'm fine with just because I love like keeping stickers like that. So I don't know, he can get back to me on that. But there we go, there's a Mariel of both the boys right there with some very vibrant colors. It's very strange. But yeah, and here is the description here. This is gonna be like cool and stuff. Beavis and Butthead get their own box set with 32 classic episodes of head-banging, air guitaring stupidity. Follow these moronic metalheads as they break stuff, wreak havoc at Burger World. I can't read. and try to pick up chicks. All your favorite characters are in here, from Diarrhea Cha-Cha-Cha to Mr. Anderson to Beavis and Butthead's butt-kicking dropout idol Todd. It doesn't get any cooler than this. So there's the year dates, 1993 to 1995. It's 167 minutes, so about, let's see, about 3 hours of content here. Not rated, of course, full screen format, NTSC. But yeah, this was the thing I noticed, like with my old copy. I was barely even able to read this text down here. Now it's all like perfectly clear, so glad about that. And yeah, this is a 2002 release. Opening it up, the first side here, we have disc 1 with Butthead, and it's more like a neon green, kind of like one with like glow in the dark green colors or something, like a yellowish green color. And then also it comes with an insert, at least my copy does, and it's basically the same as the cover here, except it says DVD video, which was not present on that other copy that I showed off, so that's how I feel like I can tell it was a bootleg. And then right here we have the episode selection, which I'm glad this was included, and that's why I flipped it on this side, so that way I see what episodes are on here. So disc 1 has parts 1 and 2, and there are 16 episodes on each disc. So part 1 has Give Blood, Balloon, Door to Door, Yogurt's Cool, The Crush, Babes Are Us, Bedpans and Broomsticks, and Baby Makes a 3. And then part 2 has Plate Frisbee, Science, or Scientific Stuff, as it's called on the title card, Sick, Sign Here, Sideshow, Foreign Exchange, Car Wash, and Walking Erect. And then disc 2, part 3 has Rabies Scare, Pumping Iron, Steamroller, Sprout, PTA, Head Lice, Follow Me, and On Strike. And then part 4 has Take a Number, Oil Change, Gang of Two, Murder Site, Underwear, Pierced, Take a Lap, and Canned. So as you can tell, some of these episodes were featured on the Mike Judge collection releases, but obviously there are a couple exclusive ones, like of course Give Blood, Balloon, Door to Door, Yogurt's Cool, Babes Are Us, Scientific Stuff, Sick, Sign Here, Foreign Exchange. But then a lot of these other episodes, they were also released on other sets like the Time Lapse and the Mike Judge collections. But these, surprisingly, are the uncut versions. Now, the music videos are not included on here. That's something I should probably mention. Obviously, it's Paramount. They don't have the licensing issues for a lot of this kind of stuff. But they do feature the full uncut versions, which unfortunately the Mike Judge collection has cut a lot of the stuff for whatever fucking reasons, like director's cut versions or something. But yep, a great selection of episodes though. I enjoyed pretty much all of these. There are a few, like obviously there are episodes from the first season here which are honestly not the best, but it's also great to watch a lot of the older episodes of Beavis and Butthead, especially when me and my dad were watching disc 1 specifically, since we've seen all of these episodes from disc 2 multiple times. But watching a lot of the earlier episodes was really fun, especially since he hasn't seen them since they probably aired on TV back in the day. But yeah, there's more copyright stuff there. And there you go. That's the insert. I guess I'm just going to put it back like this just because I guess this is how it came. But yep, there's disc 1 with Butthead right there. This one has 77 minutes on this disc, so about an hour and 17 minutes. And then there is disc 2 with Beavis, and this one is 87 minutes. I think it's just because the bonus features included, and obviously it's a pink disc, which is honestly quite nice. Love the different color variety there. And this is what the case looks like. Very nice case. I'm really, really digging this case for sure. So yeah, that's the history of Beavis and Butthead. I think overall, this is a fantastic set. I'd probably even go as far as saying that this is probably my favorite Beavis and Butthead DVD set for multiple reasons. For one, it's a neat novelty piece considering that it was recalled, it's out of print. It's kind of rare. I wouldn't really say it's like rare, extremely rare, because you can find listings of this thing on eBay. It's just the prices are kind of extreme, such as, like I said, between $100 to $300. Just depends if they're brand new and how the sellers are, if they even know that this is rare. But the fact that a lot of these episodes are uncut is quite nice. I also love the selection of episodes, and honestly, the earlier season episodes, they're so fun to look at. Like, it just shows it's like a nice transitional It's like a transitional DVD to where it jumps from like different seasons and such. It's really nice because these are all episodes featured between, you know, all 7 seasons of the show, like of the original run of the show. I don't know if there's any episodes that are missing from one of these seasons. I don't think they are. Obviously, it's not a perfect set. I'm not really exactly too sure what the theme is here. I think it was just a random collection that they put together. Might have been like some of like the iconic episodes, but obviously, you know, there's no like Great Cornholio or whatever. But that was in the Mike Judge collection, so fuck it. So if you're a completionist, you're a fan of Beavis and Butthead, I know a lot of people are gonna say go for the King Turd collection, which I mean, obviously, I'd say still get that just because it's a neat piece, and the King Turd collection's awesome. I've showed that off. But it's obviously not a legitimate DVD set. It's made by fans. It's a custom made set. If you want like, you know, the original DVDs with the original masters and decent quality, then I would say go for this, especially if you want to see some of those earlier episodes and seeing the uncut versions of some of these episodes. Um, so yeah, personally, I know a lot of people are going to say this DVD set is not worth it and that, you know, it's overpriced. You have to understand the DVD was canceled. Obviously, it wasn't meant to be sold, and obviously, some copies still got surfaced out there. Um, so yeah, honestly, if you're a fan of Beavis and Butthead and you can get this for a decent price, I probably would not pay any more than $100 for this. If you do, that's fine. It's your money, but if you want to kind of like have like a budget limit, I'd say a little around $100 or under. If you can find it for any lower than that, I'd say pick the setup. But make sure you notice out a couple things to tell, like again these little ridges and the color of Butthead's disc is like a lime green color. So just be careful because there might be fakes out there. I would not be surprised. I kind of wish I would have made another video showcasing my other copy before I got rid of it. But anyways, that's the history of Beavis and Butthead. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys for watching, and stay cool, fart knockers.